you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknex.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
Okay, let's talk about this jackass. James, is this the guy with the curly hair? Is this the guy with the big, stupid, curly hair that said a bunch of stupid shit in 2017 and then disappeared, and said a bunch of stupid shit in 2021 and disappeared? Is this that jackass? That guy is such a piece of shit. Let me turn this down. Yeah, that guy is such a snake. It's very hard not to curse at that guy. That's a guy that if I saw him in public, I would beat the shit out of him because he's a scam artist. That dude, crazy hair like Sam Bankman-Fried. We're just crazy geniuses here. We're just geniuses here. That guy is a scumbag. I don't think short of massive world-ending, country-destroying hyperinflation that there is a fucking universe where Ethereum hits 100,000. The whole thing would collapse under its own weight. That's just not feasible. I think $10,000 is borderline not feasible, but it could get pumped to that. There's no universe, none in the multiverse where everything's possible. There's no universe where Ethereum is 100,000 a token. Yeah, he's such a scumbag. That guy, anytime you go back into a bull market, the same douchebags. Anthony Pompliano, he comes back. Max Kaiser comes back. All the same. BitBoy, all the same scummy douchebags. Just the ones that haven't gone to jail, they come back, and they put on their same nonsensical, bullshit where they're like, oh, watch my video. I'll tell you all about it for, $895. I'll tell you why Ethereum's going to 10,000. Well, bitch, if you know what you're talking about, then it's going to 100,000 anyway. Yeah. Well, Anthony's been making he's always made the press thing, but the funny thing is, like, there's a guy on Real Vision. Well, I mean, Real Vision itself, everybody on Real Vision is mostly a piece of shit, but there's a couple of analysts there that are okay. But other than Raoul Pal, who's a complete douchebag, even though he's kind of smart, he's a complete douchebag and he doesn't understand crypto. Same thing with Tika. Yeah, the Tikas. Real Vision does get good interviews, though. They interview good people. Like Mike Green, he's on there and he's cool. Jeff has done interviews with them and he's smart. So, like, but they've got same thing. They got caught pulling a bunch of Luna scams. Raul got caught doing it. Raul was doing a show where he was pumping Luna and UST while UST was depegging. And then he like pulled the video and got rid of it. There's still clips floating around on YouTube with him just like a deer in headlights. These dudes just don't know anything. And that's the problem, is these dudes all come back. Anthony is a nice guy, but Anthony's not really a crypto guy. He's never been a crypto guy. He's just kind of a nice guy. But, you know, that can be dangerous too. Like, you know, like when you sell a third of your fund to FTX and you do all these swaps with like scam, bank run, fraud chicken. After a year earlier, people tell you that that guy is a scam, that FTX is a scam, that the origin story is bullshit. Like a laundry list of things that Anthony was well aware of. But you know what happens is these guys running funds and stuff and all this, it's a sales job. It's a sales job all the way up to the point where you stop doing sales and you start managing your managers. And pretty soon you're back into a sales job again. You're selling people on the idea of coming into your fund, but you're not touching anything. Your decisions don't go anywhere. I've been on the phone with him because Anthony and those guys were going to go into Hypercycle and a couple other projects. And their money guy was like, well, we're really leaning towards helium. I was like, what? Yeah, we're leaning towards helium. I was like, you mean that sketchy thing where they're trying to get rednecks to put like little boxes and make a mesh network, little boxes on their roof? He's like, yeah. I was like, what universe are you guys in? And so anyway, yeah. And so they're giant positions in Algorand, destroyed. Giant positions in FTX, destroyed. Gave a third of their equity of the fund to FTX, destroyed. Like, think about all this crap, man. And so people that mean well can screw you bad accidentally. Same thing. Yeah, good point. For those of you that may or may not be aware, the new Jupiter vote is there. My vote was to lock up the tokens for Meow until 2030. That was, I think it was the yes, lock the tokens up to 2030 part of that vote. I don't know anybody. I don't know what Crypt Nation or Crypto Nation is, Dave. I just don't know. I can't say it, those guys. But most of the people that I've heard from that pop up when the market is good and disappear when things are quiet, they're all scumbags. They're scumbags and they're just there to skin idiots. That's their whole thing. Yeah. Great. That's right. Crazy hair. He's so crazy. He's so genius, man. He can't. Man, they screwed me. I took this online IQ test yesterday. It was really fun. You know, shapes and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's going to give me a score. It never emailed me the score. And I realized maybe I wasn't so careful when I put my email address in the little boxes. You're just looking forward to taking this test. And I spent like 30 minutes on that stupid test. And I usually do good on those kind of tests. And it feels good. Little emotional pat on the back. You're like, yeah, I still got it. Well, I don't still got it because damn it, I put in my wrong email. That's the first. If you put the wrong email in an IQ test box to send your scores to, you fail the IQ test outright. So it doesn't matter what little clicks and buttons I push that were correct. None of it matters now because I'm too stupid to check the spelling of my IQ, on my IQ test of my email. And I don't even have crazy hair that prevents me from such. Yeah. Okay. There is a lot to talk about. We will see more consolidations like JLP next 12. Will we see more consolidations? Well, you would think. Wait, do you mean, okay, X term, do you mean consolidations in assets into like one asset that holds many assets, like an index fund type asset, or do you mean consolidations just in price consolidation, things like that? IQ test for dummies. Yeah, I failed it. I failed the part where you put in your email. Yes, one holding many. I mean, anybody here could make one. I mean, technically, you could just make one, like your own index fund. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think that you would see products in the retail space that would consolidate a bunch of ETFs potentially. I could see that for kind of like Joe Sixpack, investing through ETFs. Oh, by the way, did anybody see that MAX? Remember, I'm talking about that exchange that does derivative trading, or that at least I said March 3rd, something's coming March 3rd. Well, they released, was it yesterday? You know what? Todd would know better than me. It was either yesterday or the day before. They released their binary options. Their hourly expiring binary options, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's so stupid looking, unless they're using that and they're going to expand the expirations and just open up a wide kind of different expirations along various strike prices, and then they're going to tighten the strike prices. But anyway, they opened that did open for trading, and when I looked yesterday, there was not one penny invested. I mean, like none, zero. That's not good. Because what you do is you get all your buddies to show up, and he's like, dude, get in there, do some trading, do some man. You see a platform on day one and it zeroes up, you're like, no one's coming, buddy. No, you might have sent out invitations, no one's coming. But anyway, it's this platform. Let me it's this one, these guys. Yeah, they never answered my request. But anyway, apparently, it just keeps reverting back to here, to the request page. Interesting. Let me see if I just go to the main page. But it's in MAX. Anybody who wants to look, it's maxdx.com. Weird. Why does it keep doing that? It's like it won't let me go to the page. Interesting. Well, I guess they don't. I guess they are as embarrassed as they should be, because you click on it, it just goes back to here. Anyways, mostly they're open for business on their hourly expiring binary options. It's just the stupidest shit. But anyway, I hope, and yeah, IBIT options are good. Okay. IBIT options are liquid. That's the BlackRock product. That's their ETF, and they have options against that. They are liquid. They're not good. They're liquid. The problem is, again, it's that two floating assets. You have the floating price of Bitcoin that is traded, and then you have the floating price that's somewhat correlated, mostly correlated to the price of Bitcoin, which is the ETF. Remember, the price of the ETF is largely determined by buyers and sellers. And when I say largely, 100% determined by buyers and sellers. So it's not like it's pegged to the price that Bitcoin goes up, IBIT goes up. If Bitcoin goes up and traders transfer their sentiment into purchasing, then IBIT goes up. And then one more level over are the options that are traded by traders, and those premiums are determined by the psychology of those traders trading those premiums against those IBIT shares against Bitcoin. That's three sets of traders you got to be in and around, versus one set of traders if you're just selling, well, two sets if you're selling against Bitcoin. So I would rather be closer to the source. So I'm still hoping that they release a regular options chains for Bitcoin at MAX. MAX or MIAX, however we would, MIAX. MIAX. They really gotta workshop that. Anyway. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about what happened last night with Trump's executive order. So that came out. We'll kind of cover that now. So you guys probably know this. Trump signed a Bitcoin reserve executive order, but there's no plans in that executive order to purchase more Bitcoin. Essentially, and people were disappointed, although I don't know what people were expecting. I wasn't even expecting this to be an executive order. I just thought it was going to be something that the working group would talk about today at this summit, which, by the way, is going to be more prejudiced towards regulation rather than talking about any specific tokens. Anyway, the market's disappointment reveals unease over the absence of an immediate Bitcoin accumulation strategy, despite the government's new reserve policy on Bitcoin. So they're going to repurpose Bitcoin that was scooped up, and they're going to hold it, which is a good thing because that means it's not going to hit the open market like those asshole Germans did. You guys remember that. Anyway, Donald Trump signed an executive order on March 6th establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile and directing the federal government to refrain from selling forfeited crypto as a long-term store of value. So it's going to hold crypto that it grabs in legal situations. Okay, so under the order, the Treasury Department will oversee the management of both reserves, but the government will not actively acquire additional assets beyond those seized. Will not actively acquire. So if you're not holding a token that a bunch of frauds are using, it's probably not going to get accumulated as much. So anyway, the order further states that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick will be tasked with developing budget-neutral strategies to expand the country's Bitcoin holdings without incurring additional taxpayer costs. Nothing in this mentions Ethereum. Nothing mentions Cardano. Nothing mentions Solana. Nothing mentions XRP. Nor would it. So, yeah. Anyway, it does not provide details for a timeline when these holdings will be expanded. The market reacted, as you saw, negatively last night, but then it bounced back up this morning, but then it went back down again. So it was kind of like but it reacted negatively to this idea that the government's not going to go out there and just start buying stuff. And again, we're only, he just took office on the 20th. We're not even 7 weeks in. These things have to be structured, and they're going to take some time. But anyway, at any other time, this would double the price of Bitcoin immediately. Bitcoin be $168,000. But people are peak negative. We're going to talk about that too. That Ethereum sentiment's quite negative. People are just negative Nancy right now, which that makes sense. So there you go. Anyway, the lack of an immediate accumulation strategy has kind of let some of the steam out of the, or what is it? Let some of the hot air out of the balloon. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. People are less enthusiastic. Bitcoin crashed. I guess 5% technically is a crash, but anyway, crashed 5% within minutes to a low of 85,000 before attempting to stem the bleeding. And then yesterday, after the meeting, after the announcement, it was around 86,000. So people were all kind of depressed and like, oh man, the party's over. Like, no, the party's not over. It's just like 200,000 Bitcoin. 200,000 that the U.S. government has that will now not be selling. And that's just going to sit there. That's like, you might as well have burnt, at least for the next couple of years, you might as well have burnt 200,000 Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the digital asset stockpile, which is a separate pool, will hold cryptocurrencies other than BTC that are obtained through forfeiture. Do you know a bunch of crooks using XRP? I'm not talking about upper management at Ripple. I'm saying actual crooks. No one uses XRP, so that ain't happening. Do you see crooks using Solana? Not well. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say yes. Shit. Okay, so Solana, good for Solana. What about Cardano? No one's using Cardano for anything. It's too slow, and no one cares. So no. So if you're gonna hold your breath on Cardano just skyrocketing up and all this, anyway, yeah. So there's that. The order calls for a full audit of the government's digital assets holdings, and the estimation is that the U.S. owns about 200,000 Bitcoin. The new policy prevents the government from selling any Bitcoin in the reserve, likening it to a digital equivalent of Fort Knox. Supporters of the move argue it prevents past missteps, referencing instances where early Bitcoin sales led to billions in lost potential value, like the Germans that lost billions last year by dumping Bitcoin, thinking they were so smart. They were the smartest ones in the room. They'll show you, silly Bitcoin owners. We will show you. But what we show you is how poor we are. The move aligns with Trump's broader push to position the U.S. as a global leader in digital assets. David Sachs, a key advocate within the administration, praised the decision, calling it a fulfillment of Trump's campaign promises to support crypto innovation. True. This is it. This is what he said he was going to do. He did it. While the executive order signals a shift in federal digital asset policy, questions remain about its long-term implications. Some analysts warn that maintaining a Bitcoin reserve without active management could expose the government to market volatility. No, not if they're not selling it. So again, some analysts, they probably wouldn't have put their correct email on their IQ test either. See, it's not, we can all be stupid. They just told you they just told you they're not selling it, stupid. So what difference does it make what the price does? They're not selling it, stupid. It only matters if they're selling it on some routine basis. God, people are dumb. It's like, what color is that jacket that's in your closet? What? The jacket in your closet. What color is it? Who cares? It's in my closet. I don't wear it. Additionally, there are regulatory hurdles and some congressional oversight may further impact how the initiative develops. The order highlights the administration's continuing and accelerating efforts to integrate digital assets into the national financial strategy, with officials calling it a step towards solidifying the U.S. as a crypto capital. What's funny is they went, there was another article I was reading about how a bunch of people were pointing fingers at the CEO, the founder of Solana, that he was politicking to get Solana into the fray of crypto assets, that, that stuff that was mentioned the other day, Sunday morning by Trump. And he was like, no, but he never answered the question directly. He answered the question with questions, which is a fucking lie. That's how people lie. When you ask someone a question and they ask you a question, they have just lied or at least made an attempt to obfuscate the truth, because that is a human reaction. Where's my grandmother? What do you mean, where's your grandmother? Bitch, don't. We will ask the questions. Anyway, so it looks like he probably absolutely did. See, he denies claims of lobbying for inclusion in the crypto reserve. Oh, right. So you guys just met at the White House, but we just talked about sunsets and what it's like to live in the Jefferson room and all that shit. Get off the gas. And then, of course, Brad Garlic Mouth, he didn't even. People said you're trying to get in. He's like, hell yeah. Matter of fact, some people are saying that Brad was the one that petitioned to get Solana in there, because he's like, well, yeah, us and Solana, yeah, American projects. Like, oh, right, Brad. Anyway, none of it led to the executive order. So, wah. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. Show of thumbs. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we positive, or are we marginally negative about the price of Ethereum right now? What do we think about the price of Ethereum right now? Are we happy that it's low? Are we sad that it's low? Are we accumulating? Are we selling? So Sentiment in the Ethereum ecosystem is a no bueno. It's a no bueno. And oh yeah, God, that was bad. Yeah, Charles didn't just get rejected; he got rejected. And listen, Michael Saylor's going. Michael Saylor is going, and and the head of Cardano is not going. That is really embarrassing. Anyway, let's talk Ethereum. Ethereum sentiment hits yearly to multi-year lows, but Sentiment believes that could be a good thing. Don't be accumulating and sad, Donna. Turn that frown upside down and be a happy clown, but not like John Wayne Gacy, because that guy was a serial killer. Anyway, Duro Labs CEO Mike Cahill tells Cointelegraph that if crypto markets stabilize, Ether is well positioned to benefit from renewed liquidity and continued institutional interest. And that douchebag James Altucher guy, he did tell you that Ethereum's going to 100,000. So you can just put that check. Go ahead and just times your Ethereum by 100K and go out and start house shopping, because it's bound to happen now. 100% not. Social sentiment over Ether has hit new low for the year as the price underperforms that of other cryptocurrencies. However, this could signal that it's ready to bounce back. When things are bad, they can only be so bad before they become good, because they're at the bottom of the bad. All right. Okay. Unless the bottom of the bad is the top of the next lower leg down of more bad, bro. Anyway, Sentiment believes their social sentiment tracker found that traders' discussions about Ether on various social networks like X, Reddit, and Telegram are more bearish compared to other cryptocurrencies. Yeah, no shit. The blockchain data platform said, what an epiphany. For those holding their Ether, the bearishness being projected across social media is a good sign of potential turnaround once markets stabilize. Okay, I'm going to give you guys, let me see if I can get this picture. Can I get this picture? Maybe I can. Hold on. Ethereum sentiment picture. You guys get it? Because we're live as hell. Anyway, the price of Ether is down over 20%. I think it's 22% in the last month, according to CoinMarketCap, with the second largest cryptocurrency trading hands at 2,000 and change. What is it this second? It is this absolute second is probably what, 2163, so pretty close, within a couple bucks. The second largest cryptocurrency trading hands at 2163. In contrast, Bitcoin has dropped just 10% over the last month and has actually had an up year. Bitcoin is currently at 87,520. Nothing swell there. Everything is starting to just get punished right now, but 2-3%, but then it goes worse. Like XRP's down 7%. Cardano, of course, down 10.5% because it shouldn't be up in the first place. So yeah, everything's kind of getting beat up. Everybody's Ondo that you guys all got Pied Pipered into buying. If you bought it, it's now below $1. It's down 14% plus on the day and going down. Don't react, act. Anyway, Mike Cahill of Duro Labs, a key contributor to the decentralized data network, Pith network, which I own some Pith, and I'm pithed that it isn't worth shit. Anyway, he said, historically, extreme bearish sentiment has often coincided with market bottoms, as price movement tends to lead to social sentiment, not the other way around. Ooh. If crypto markets stabilize, Ether is well positioned to benefit from the renewed liquidity and continued institutional interest. So there you go. Factors like decreasing interest rates or clear regulatory developments around staking ETH within ETFs could push it higher. I agree. If you could buy the ETF and make staking returns in the ETF that just would potentially, obviously it's giving you more Ethereum. That would be pretty badass, would it not? So Yeah, I think that would be quite cool. My guess is with Trump-backed World Liberty buying a bunch of, well, not a bunch, $10 million, $10 million worth of Ether over the 7-day period. They like it. They at least like it. Okay, so there you go. I mean, there's still a lot of people, most, that say that Ethereum previously benefited from the DeFi kind of boom, but that shift of activity to layer twos reduced demand for Ethereum as a settlement layer. There would need to be some strong catalyst. Okay, the test net that they launched a couple days ago, they on the I think Sepolia testnet, they launched this new kind of update, which is the three Ethereum improvement proposals that we talked about. I think we talked about this Wednesday, but anyway, it crashed. It crashed pretty hardcore on the testnet yesterday. So, but again, that's why you deploy in testnets to try to break stuff. So they try to break it, it broke. And on the other testnet, they were trying to break it, and it broke. So if it is broke, do fix it. So they're gonna work on that. So it doesn't look like that update is as smooth as everyone thought. But when it gets here, again, it would reduce the amount of validating nodes, because it would allow each validating node to have way more. Like right now, an Ethereum validator has to hold 32, can't hold any more than 32 Ethereum. And then you have to have another validator node with another 32 and another validator with another 32. But if they could hold 1,000 or several thousand, then you could have many less validator nodes, still maintain decentralization, but then they don't have to pay. It's not going to be as expensive for staking. I was looking yesterday, and if you stake Ethereum at Coinbase, you're getting 2.4%. If you simply stake your Ethereum through MetaMask, you get 2.9%. And I think it gets to 3.2, something like that, if you're over at maybe through Lido. But that being said, that means that simply, and I'm not telling anyone to do this, but simply taking your Ethereum from Coinbase, putting it in a secure MetaMask address. Be careful. If you can't do this safely, don't do it. But you're making an 18% bump in your returns from 2.4 to 2.9. So you just made an 18% increase in your Ethereum returns, which you think, well, that's not much. Well, it is if you got 1,200 Ethereum or something like that. Then it becomes, pretty significant. So just thought I'd throw that out there to the people. Throw that to the people. So that's where we're at. Okay, we're going to go behind the wall. We will answer your questions. We'll talk about crypto misconceptions, but today we give it to the White House. Bitcoin Reserve is now a thing. People are mad that we're not buying, but it doesn't matter. We're not selling. The Bitcoin Reserve is like Max Kaiser. I'm never going to sell. And he wears like vinyl, like white vinyl. He's like 70. I'm never going to sell. Buddy, never dress like that. How about that? How about never dress like that in vinyl, in skin tight vinyl, you old creep, you old yucky old creep. Anyway, let's get behind the wall. And once we're behind the wall, we can dig into what you should do right now. What should you do right now? I mean, this thing is happening. There's going to be news blurbs coming all day, you would think, unless it's like a 30-minute meeting and he tells everyone to stuff it. God, that'd be funny. Anyway, let's get behind the wall, and then we can talk turkey.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.